Cause I am whatever you say I am. And if I wasn't, you hoes wouldn't bite my down. I'm making money on your mind, and it's all the time. Talk about me, bitches, stupid, I just lose your mind. When I walk in the club. Good afternoon. I am currently in the stages of editing last week's video. Hopefully it should be up by next week. I have been coming up with a system to make editing videos a little bit easier. One thing about me, I love comfort, and you will always see me in something that is more comfortable than something that is more trendy. I don't particularly care for high heels or a lot of jewelry or even like dresses. I prefer to be in jeans, pants, leggings, sweats, flats. That's my preference. So I'm all about comfort. So you'll always see me looking comfortable. I have the opportunity to introduce the book that I am in the beginning stages of writing. I'm not even finished with the book. I am at a writer's block right now, and I'm okay with that because it gives me time to edit. And while I edit, I get a chance to still add more to my story because it's always, it's never ending. So that's fun. But what I'm going to do today is this week, prayerfully, life doesn't throw me another pitch. Life doesn't throw me another curveball, I should say. But I plan on just painting this week, and I plan on editing this week, and I plan on, editing for YouTube and for my book. So yeah, if you haven't seen my interview with the Bev For Real show, I'll tag the video up here. And then if you also haven't seen my short film that I did not edit that. That was all done by Vice Productions. Very, very talented, very, 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 very talented man who saw my words and turned it into a short film. If you haven't seen that, then I will suggest you to watch them. On top of that, just keep me uplifted and keep sending me positive thoughts. It helps. Sending positive prayers also help as I embark on this journey. And as I just sit back and think that, wow, I used to just be a teacher and I used to not have this freedom. And not that it's easy at all. I constantly try to remind myself that money will come eventually. And because of that, I just keep the good faith that I'm doing the right thing. And there's no real expectations for what the book can do, but I'm believing that this book is going to shift my world. So I never recorded the stages of me writing my book. I have footage of me just like thinking about it. I need to put that footage right here. So I'm about to go into Target and I decided to pick up my camera. No real reason. I don't know. Something was like, pick up the camera, record. Tomorrow I'm cutting my hair. Yeah, not too much. I just want to shave it down. I've never had my hair cut shaved before, and I always said before I decide to officially lock my hair, I want to do everything to it, skip out on anything because of fear. So, and I don't ever want to say like I have to unlock my hair because I want this hairstyle. I have been writing. Hopefully by the time this video is out, I'll be somewhat done. So this is like raw footage of where I'm at. I'm in the very beginning stage, the very, 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 very beginning. I am almost close to 30,000 words. So I'm almost done. I have a few more chapters. I just wanted to say that because I feel like an anxiousness about it because it's becoming something bigger than I thought it was ever going to be. put this down. Short story, I was watching Toni Morrison's video. She said that a lot of times you write until you feel done. When you're like, okay, I'm done, this is what it is. Until then, don't call it a book. And I specifically didn't want to call it a book because I didn't want to have the pressures of writing a book. But yeah, so that's how I came to writing. Honestly, it was just me sitting down writing, and then eventually it became, are you going to publish? Are you going to publish? And I would give it to like grown men, like swole men who you would look like and be like, you know, the toughest of the toughest, and I can make them cry. And I think for me, that was like, okay, you're sitting on something, and you need to become more serious. I don't know when I'm gonna be done. Honestly, I want for people to love my work, and I want someone to pick me up, and I don't want to self-publish. I want someone else to publish my work. I'm speaking into existence, and I believe it. And this video will mark it. July 15th, 2020 is marking the day that this becomes bigger than what I ever thought it would ever be. And I'm standing on that. And I would just have moments where I would just be in thought, and I would come and write. And when I couldn't get my thoughts out, I would come and record a video. But I just think it's just kind of like, I don't know, it's I use the word surreal a lot because at one point I thought these things, and now these things are in front of me. And when I say these things, these thoughts, at one point I thought I would write a book. I knew as a child I would have a book published, but I was a childlike thought. And now to be an adult and still have that same thought, that same inkling that I had as a child, it's so surreal. But then, like, to even further that journey, I wrote down, like, last year, like, God gives me the words for the book that I need. And here it is. Some pages, some odd pages, some thousands of words later, I have a book where I have a sequence of how it's supposed to flow. But I would just drive. I didn't have any funds. Well, let me not say that. God has always made provision. I did not have a influx of money coming in weekly to provide for my needs, but I still had the heart and the drive to keep waking up each day, putting forth the effort to drive 30 minutes plus to come and sit and type. I would just sit and type right here with my laptop and just write. Like, I would just write for hours. And then I took a 3-week vacation just to write. And I knew it sounded crazy to some people because it sounded crazy to me, but I would just wake up with something in my heart and just say go, and I would just go. And now, after me just being obedient to the listening to the go that I heard, to now sit here and have pages, and it's just mad. It's just wild. It's crazy. It's not crazy. It's real. It's possible. Anybody can be in this position. And I have to check myself and realize that, and just me being honest, my arm is getting do this. Anybody can do this. Anyone can set forth the effort to do whatever they believe. And I also have to check myself, as I was saying, and start recognizing that I also have to be supportive of people who are in the same position as I am. I have to realize that there are people who are in the same places as I am, and I should be celebrating everyone's work and everyone's stages of their life. And anyone who is just producing content and living out their creativity, I think it should just be a movement and a celebration that we all just stop and say, like, wow, instead of saying, like, you know, why am I not where they are, or why isn't my payoff looking like others' payoffs, or why am I not seeing the results that others are seeing? And I have to check myself and say, like, and keep my faith and keep my thoughts and keep my thinking in the concept of what is for me will always be for me, and that I don't have to do anything extra. I don't have to go above and beyond what I already set forth in my own plans to get something at a faster pace or at a rate that will in the end bite me in the long run. So I just think, like, just it's all just a full circle, because you just never know how much effort and time someone has put into where they currently are. And not to check your work ethics, but just to admire someone else's. And so I have to do a better job of that in my own self. And it's just a moment of where I have to just be strong in my thoughts and just realize that, you know, I'm not always right. And I have to, you know, deal with being human. Being still human. Like, even though we are spirits and we're walking in this body and we're stuck to this realm of life right now until it's time for us to pass on and pass over, I still have to check myself. I still have to be self-aware, and I still have to be conscious of the imprint, the impact, and the imprint of when I'm leaving on this earth. So I'm gonna get back to editing. It's so cool. It is so cool. I'm just in the first 10 pages though. It's a long ride. It's a very long ride. I'm at the park that I always go to, and I'm sitting outside reading today, and I wanted to pick up the camera and just kind of dump my brain out real quick. Right in the middle of it there, sometimes I do yoga. One of my cousins actually told me about this park, and because she would venture, I like coming to this park when she introduced it to me. So I come to this park and I park my car over there and sit and I just write, or I read and I'll journal, or I'll meditate, or I'll do one of or all of the above. Like today, I came here in hopes of editing my book, and I started as this little workbook that I brought. It's called The Story of Your Life, and it asks you a series of prompt questions to answer and journal out to tell your story. And a lot of them on the first page I don't have the answers to, so it becomes frustrating, but it's appreciative because it makes me reflect on my past and my own story and where it starts, because I don't have a lot of the answers. But I am reading a book called Big Magic. This book, I don't know if you ever heard of it, if you ever read it, let me know your thoughts. I'm almost finished with it. It's taken me almost 2.5 years to read this book. My friend Carrie, pre-car accident, told me to read this book, and she raved about it. I never read it. Then I started working at my last teaching job, and one of the assistants was reading this book, or told me about this book, and I actually went out and I purchased it. I started reading it, and because it's a different writing style, it's more of it's not normally what I like to read. Let me just say that I like fiction writing, I like action writing, I like storytelling. So this is more of, it's called Big Magic: Creatively Living Beyond Your Fear. It's written by Elizabeth Gilbert, but when I first got it, it was kind of hard for me to connect with the writer because we do come from different backgrounds, and it's not my typical writing style. So I would read a few pages and put it down, and then eventually I stopped putting it down. But then I started putting it down because I started actively doing the things that were in this book. The words started to resonate with me. I became less apprehensive to actually walk into my creativity. Actually reading these books pushed me to put my artwork onto canvas and off of paper. It pushed me to continue to finish a story, reading a story. It pushed me to still pick up the camera and still vlog. This book also changed my thinking in myself. I just can't rave about this book for forever and ever. I'm very appreciative of it. But as I was reading, I stopped because it asked the question. It says, she wrote about how a professor would ask a group of students who were nature lovers, do you love nature? And they would say, yes, of course. And then then the professor asked back, do you think nature loves you? And they all said no. And that just kind of hit me, because it talks about trust and understanding that, one, you have to know that not in a sense of that you have to believe in ideologies or idols, I should say. Not that you should believe in idols, but understanding that Earth is a system and we are part of that same system. We pour into the Earth just as much as the Earth pours into us. We need the Earth just as much as the Earth needs us. But understanding that, it talks about how the Earth is the seed and man or spirit or person is the garden. And so the seed is always there, but are you going to tend to the seed? Are you going to tend to your garden? And I thought that was just clever thinking, how they worded it that way. But then they also kind of question the idea of your creativity. Do you trust your creativity? And you say yes, but then you question, does your creativity trust you? And you don't see it in the same realm as like, oh, okay, I'm a living, breathing person. Why would something that doesn't move the same way or doesn't follow the same constructs of life, why would it need me? But in reality, you start to understand that, one, you're not that big. Humble yourself. And then two, we're all a working function of one system. And so you start to realize, like, I don't know, you start changing your thoughts. You start changing your alignment to what's important. And I'm still reading. I'm not done. I'm almost done with this book. But I just wanted to share that, do you trust God? You can go even further than that. Do you think that God trusts you? Do you think that your creator trusts you enough? Because that's a relationship. Trust requires a relationship. So as much... Oh, I'm going to stop talking. I just sat and went down memory lane, a few videos of my old vlogs. I miss my TTs when they were babies. They're all bigger now. And now I have another TT. I have 2 more TTs now. I have 4 TTs. All within a span of 3 years. That's crazy. Anyways, so I wanted to show you what I'm eating. Rice, salmon, potatoes, broccoli, and chicken. Last night I ate pork chops for the first time. I do plan on it was good too. I won't eat them again though. It was good. But anyways, I haven't weighed myself in a very long time, but as I was watching my videos, I see how I'm losing weight. I see how that I really wasn't as big as I thought I was. The scale is a evil person. One of the reasons why I stopped weighing myself and I stopped getting on a journey is because the scale did not move, but the inches were. And I see, like, last year I was smaller than I thought I still look like. Because, like, when I compare myself to this picture, nowhere near the same size. Like, I been gave those clothes away because I couldn't fit them anymore. But yeah, so don't get on the scale. It's very discouraging. At the beginning of March, when COVID first happened, I vowed to not weigh myself, and I stuck to that vow. I do plan on weighing myself in November because that would be my full complete year, third year of being on this weight loss journey. So I will do a update in November. Otherwise, I stick to inches and before and after pictures, and it helps because it reminds you it's a journey. This is good. Like, even my boobs are smaller. So
repeatedly tested throughout the last several weeks and months. He has been taking a very opposite approach to campaigning from the president. He's been holding very few campaign events, all taking very strict safety precautions. I've been at many of those. They've been taking this.
In your school district, at Channel 2 Action News, our job is to give you the very latest information every day and to guide you through.
I think these are my favorite moments. So I just want to capture this. So when she gets older, I can go back and say, oh, my TT is so small. And she used to let me hold her. It is Saturday. It's almost 8:15, I know that. My lips are ashy because I just finished brushing my teeth. So excuse the ashiness. You know, I never shy away from a good ashy lip. So yeah, we are about, and as I say, me and my mother are about to go do boot camp. So the gym I go to every month, once a month, they do free fitness Saturdays. I've only been to 2 because they're really intimidating, only because it's usually a lot of people there. But once you get there, it's not intimidating. It's a lot of fun. It's super fun. I just like to go with people because I can have like someone to be like a safety blanket for me or something. So this time my mom is going with me, and yeah, we're gonna work out this morning. It's so much fun. You get like a free shirt, you get free food, you just like laugh and push yourself to the limits. And in 60 minutes, and since social distancing, it's outside, but it's cold, so that's why I have on this hoodie today. I just finished reading my devotional. I do plans. This plan was a 7-day plan. This is the first time I ever finished a 7-day plan within 7 days. So proud of me, because I was really in a moment of uncertainty and I needed to check my thinking. And this morning, I'm just continuing to rewrite my story, life story, and knowing that where I start is where I'll end. And I'm just on a journey to get into that point. I don't know when that point will be. And I'm slowly trusting, and not slowly, but I'm slowly starting to understand that concept. What is for you will always be for you. And we all got to go home someday. We don't know when, and that's not for us to know. We're just supposed to be here every day and count it all joy and wake up every day knowing that God still sees you fit for a reason. And trust in Him. Put all your needs in Him. Put all your provision on Him, and He'll make ways. So I'm going to put some lip gloss on and get ready for boot camp. Mom, you going to say something? You're always muddy. Did you have fun? You had fun? You don't want to be on my vlog? Why are you down them steps? No, put that down. You say good morning. Why your hair wet? Why your hair wet? Give me this. Why your hair wet? Why your hair wet? You say good morning?
Good morning.
Good morning. Go. Come here. Ready, set, go.
Bye.
Get out of there. Get. this is to end my vlog. I have been in nature most of this week solely because I know when I'm trying to find God and when I feel like he's gone missing, I can usually find him in nature. So that's where I've been. I was a little frustrated with one of my paintings. It wasn't coming out right. So that kind of was discouraging. Plus it was commission work. So I think I was like being a little too hard on myself. But yeah, so I've been painting. Finally got the paint the way I wanted to go. So that's a good thing. Just have to finish it. Say my final thoughts upstairs, but there's a reason why it's Monday and not Sunday. So I just finished the first piece of my commission work. I'm actually doing 2 paintings for one person. So I'm done with the other painting. I'll post it. You'll definitely see it in this video. I was, like I said, really trying to seek God and trying to be closer to him, be nearer to him, draw to him. And I know that you find God in knowledge, and however knowledge looks for you, that's where you find it. I find God in my creativity. I believe other people might find God in their exercising. They might find God in their cooking. They might find God in their canoeing. You know, it's just a moment where you're still and you're actually telling the body what to do. Like the mind, the spirit, the soul is in control. Like I said, these last couple of weeks, I've been dealing with my own battling of my mind, and just through God and just like waking up every day, trying to hear from him. Because sometimes I feel like on this journey, it might seem like God might disappear. It might be because of you first. And it might be too because God is teaching you a lesson. So far, I'm batting for 100 with this mentality that you stepped away from God. You let other distractions get in front of you, whether you purposely stepped away from him and you turned your back, or you just let life consume you, or God is being still to see if you're really founded in your trust. That's what I've been learning, knowing that it takes a relationship with anybody, but God will make it to the point where you build yours with God first than anybody else. To me, God can be a mother, a father, a brother, a sister, a husband, a wife, a grandmother, a grandfather, whomever you need God at that present moment. That is who God is. So I don't like to genderize God. Sometimes I feel like I shouldn't have said gender, because I don't believe that God is a gender. I believe God is an entity and a spirit. Say all that to say that God has taught me to always remember the good times, because the good times is what built you. And during those quote unquote bad times, more so hardships, God is still good to you. He still supplies all your needs, whether your circumstances might look like it. But if you sit and let go of your distractions, let go of what is bothering you, you reflect and see that God has never left you. God has always been there. And if you look at where you come from, because that's all we really have to dictate our future, we don't have the future to dictate our next move. It's unknown. So since we only have the past to dictate our next steps, we kind of have to sit and say, like, God has always been good to us. No matter how you count it, you have to still count our joy, because right now you're sitting here watching this video. If God hasn't always shown you mercy, then I don't think we will be able to sit and kind of be on one accord. So that's my vlog. God is good. I'm blessed for my family. I'm blessed for my talents. I'm blessed for my wisdom. I'm blessed for my knowledge. I'm blessed for God giving me the spirit to also share it, to also know that his talent that he gave to me is my gift to the world. And how I'm paying him back is by sharing my talent and sharing my gift. So I pray you find the same. I pray you sit in your stillness to find out what is your talent, so that you can turn your talent into a gift as well, and see the fruit of your labor, the fruit of your labor be or be reaped, I should say, and see how good your rewards are from just being steady and tending to the garden that you plant, the garden that you create, the garden that you plant in here is the world that you see out in front of you. And so the more you tend to that garden, the more fruit you bear. And yeah, God is always good. And I will see y'all in the next vlog. Okay, And so here are the final products. Like, this is actually my first commission work as well. So I was panicking because I knew like that wasn't what the customer wanted. So I kept practicing and I got it.